try doing that like 30 times in a day, man. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's have another question.
Amazing. How old were you when you started voice acting?
Ooh, excellent question. I started voice acting when I was about 14. Yeah, it was weird. Okay, I started off, just to kind of give a broad answer to this question, I started off in acting as many do in theater, because of my sister. I have a sister who's a year older than me, and basically everything that she did I got jealous of. So she got into theater, I wanted to get into theater too. And at one point we were both in a place called the Vancouver Youth Theater, which was like touring theater productions that were, the cast was all made up of kids. And we played these shows and kind of toured around. So both me and my sister were in the same touring show at one point. And the theater that we were at, there was an agency right across the street that would kind of watch the kids that were coming through the theater. And they approached me and my sister at one point and said, hey, would you like to join the agency? We said, oh my god, yes please. And they said they'd start sending us out on, auditions for, film and TV and commercials and all that kind of stuff. And see what happens. So I started off doing on-camera work, so I did some stuff in movies and some TV shows and a couple commercials and things. And then I had my very first audition for a cartoon, and it was a show called My Little Ponytails. And I got to play a character named Ace, and he was a badass pony. as bad as My Little Ponies get, right? But he was a bit of a brat. So that was my very first show, and I think I was 13 or 14. And then, a couple years later, I think I had my first audition for an anime series, and that was a show called Ranma 1/2. Nice. People still know that show. And then it's just kind of gone from there. I've been doing it ever since, as much as I can. Obviously it's the dream job, but I also have a real job, which actually isn't too bad. I do graphic design illustration, so I'm an art guy. And that's what I went to school for and everything, so I like that, but the voice acting is just incredible, so, I'll keep doing it forever, as long as I can get little snippets of work every once in a while, I'll be happy doing that.
I hate that.
2 summers ago, Michael Jackson was found dead of a heart attack. 4 days later, Mace was found dead of a heart attack.
They crossed the wrong cat. All I'm gonna say. Don't return my fan mail.
For your graphic design thing, have you ever submitted graphic artwork for any of the animations or anything?
Ooh, I never submitted. Okay, alright. No, not so much. I dabbled in animation for a little bit, but it was more 3D animation in my last year of college. So, are there any animators out here in general, or people that dabble in animation? My hat's off to you guys. It's so time consuming, right? So, it's something that I'd love to get back into 3D animation. I have, of course, probably a lot of voice actors, I have dreams of making my own cartoon. But I would have to have it handed all the art behind it, right? So it's easier said than done. But I have, because I've drawn my entire life. I never really took any formal art training until I got to college, but I'd always doodle. But you give me a good segue. While we're talking about art, there's a convention in Vancouver, which now I think it's kind of defunct, which is unfortunate. But every year, they have a charity auction. So I would submit anime-themed paintings, 16 by 20 paintings, and I'd sell them off at the charity auction, and, great cause, and we'd raise some money, all that kind of stuff. So I found out a couple days ago that there's a charity auction here on Sunday. Has anybody here, who's been to the show before? Okay. Have you been to the charity auction before? Okay, cool. Well, we have a charity auction on Sunday. I already saw some of the stuff that's getting submitted for it. It's one-of-a-kind stuff as far as, things that have autographs. There's all sorts of cool stuff. So I decided I had to throw some stuff together. So I brought prints of some of the paintings that I've done in the past for my local auction. And I figured this would probably be a good opportunity to make sure everybody knows about the charity auction and show some of the stuff that I brought. So it's basically, these are prints of paintings that I've done of some of the characters that I've played on different shows. So has anybody seen Gundam Wing?
Wow!
So this is a painting I did of Katra and Sandra from Gundam Wing. Okay, we were just talking about Ranma. Moose, I played Moose in Ranma. So I got one of those. Are there any Mega Man fans out here?
Yeah!
So I got a painting I did of Lan and Cross Fusion Mega Man, because I actually got to play Cross Fusion Mega Man as well as Lan, so that was cool. Yes! Okay. Are there any Transformers fans out here?
Yeah!
Okay. Are there any Transformers Energon fans out here?
Yeah!
That was very polite. Okay. I played a character named Kicker on Transformers, so I got a painting of that. Dragon Ball Z? Oh, baby! Cool. And Death Note. That's actually what this is from. This was like a scan of a couple of the poses that were on the painting, and I just put them onto a mask so I could be less embarrassed. And also, my very first, the first anime that I ever saw was a movie called Akira. So I made, also for the charity auction, I made a plushie of a creepy little teddy bear that looks like he's like sweating milk or something. He's got a serpent hand. So, I'm creepy. So I'm gonna throw that in the auction too. So thanks for bringing that up. Anyway, so that's Sunday at 2. Open your wallet, open your hearts, and we'll raise some money for 2 really excellent causes. I'm spitting on it. And it's supposed to be potato chips.
Did you enjoy getting haircuts?
Typecast. Yes. Like I was saying about how when you're in the booth by yourself, it can be very therapeutic. Well, even the audition for Death Note was incredible because we had 1 page of sides, what they call it, which is like an audition script. And the difference between the first line and the last line on 1 piece of paper, they were worlds apart. So you could see the range that this character was going to go through on 1 page. So I was really excited. And just, you know, some people pay a lot of money for therapy. Well, I go into the studio and do maniacal laughter and be all crazy, and I walk out there and I just feel great. So yeah, it's cool to get paid to be therapized. Therapized? Yep. That's okay. Well, they're gonna get a strongly written letter. Shouldn't be me. Yeah.
You did Kurt from X-Men Evolution, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
It'd be funny for you to say everything is going according to plan as Kurt.
Everything is going according to plan. So fussy, dude. No. So I'm gonna run to the back real quick. I'll be back here. I figure we'll do some laps.
I lost him. He's way back there.
Fine. What do you gotta say? It's my favorite line in Death Note. You heard it in that first episode. In case you didn't catch it, I'll do it again. That's right, I'm Akira. This is a good one. Yeah, at the end of the laugh and all that kind of stuff. I didn't think that the potato chip line would be my favorite, but it's gotta be up there, man, because it's just fun. But anything involving me, you know, we were talking about me, God of the new world. Very cool. And I am Justice. I just went all crazy. I'm a method actor, so I just killed a few people. When I say few, I mean hundreds. There's no evidence. Well, I did. I mean, basically, I think when I auditioned for it, I just kind of did my regular thing, and whoever was making the decisions as far as casting went kind of said, yeah, just stick with that. So I wish I had a better answer for that, but it's basically me being young and slightly naive and the crazy. That just comes naturally. I don't know. I wish I could tell you there was a method behind that, but no, that was just me. Do I ever watch the animes in that voice? As you can probably tell from my reaction to this, it's hard watching stuff that I've been in sometimes. One of the problems is, as you guys probably know, is it's not always the easiest thing to come across, is, you know, getting all the anime that you need to get, especially when you're working on like a Gundam series or something, there's 52 episodes. And I'm impatient. I don't get copies of the stuff that I work on, so I have to go, like you guys, I have to go and source it out and try and find it. It gets pretty pricey. And I'm really impatient, so much so that I can't wait for the entire series to get released on one tiny little box set. I go volume by volume. And sometimes you kind of run out of cash flow, or you just can't find some, so I'll have, you know, even Death Note, I don't have the entire series. I think I'm missing volume 8, and there's another one that I'm missing. So, yes, sometimes I will go back and watch it, but sometimes it's kind of hard. It's cool because for the anime shows, they bring in one actor at a time, so you never work directly with the other cast members, so it's a lot of fun to see how it all comes together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle to some degree, and to see that, oh, bye, I miss you already. Enjoy your evening. So I lost my train of thought. Oh, but there was, did anybody see the Death Note? I guess this is technically a Death Note panel, so I'll bring it up at the time. Is this awkward, me standing over here? I can move mobile. Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid the camera, because it's really embarrassing. Stick and move. Okay. So, ooh. I apologize. And to you, the viewers. Death Note live action movies, did anybody see those? Did anybody see them in the theater? Because they did, I'm assuming they did that all over North America, they had a limited theatrical release of these movies. So, I was pretty psyched when I found out that we were going to get to do the, when you saw it in the theater, was it in English? Yes! Cool. I'm sure there were a lot of people that were very upset about that, but meh. So, I found out that we were going to do that. I was pretty psyched, but I was terrified at the same time, because I've watched so many really badly dubbed kung fu, like Jackie Chan movies, and the dubbing is always extremely campy, and it's funny in a kung fu movie, it kind of works, but with the subject matter of Death Note, I was really worried that it was going to turn into junk. It just wasn't going to translate well, right? But I had no control over anything. I went in there, did my part, and I found that I was a bit more animated in the anime than I was for live action. Because you know, when you're watching somebody like a human being speaking, you know you have an idea of what you're going to be hearing. So, unfortunately, obviously these Japanese actors were not speaking English, but we were. So I just basically tried to keep things kind of subtle and real, and the actor that plays Light in those movies, I noticed that before almost every line, he takes like a breath in, and then he talks. So I had to throw that into my performance. So you're not only trying to match his look, then you gotta, and then talk. So a bunch of the cast and I got together and watched the movies in the theaters, and it's the first time we've been able to see them put together with the English tracks and everything. And I was so impressed. I was so impressed with the job that everybody did. I found that, you know, 10, 15 minutes in, I kind of forgot that I was watching a dubbed movie. Just because I think the story kind of took over. It seemed like the performances that were given didn't really distract too much from the story, which I was so happy about, because I was terrified. You know, if we had done a terrible job dubbing that, I would have been really unimpressed. What did you guys think? Was it watchable? That's cool. You know, it's nice to get feedback like that from time to time. And that was the first time I'd ever done anything really like that as far as dubbing concerned.
Sorry.
Hmm? I got it. Just very shaky.
What's my last name?
I'm like,
I'm trying not to be.
fanboy.
Don't know how to pronounce my last name? Then, yeah, I know you spelled it right. But why am I? Because, okay, the honest answer? That's not the real Death Note. I got those under lock and key. It's really intricate to contraption. It's like a pan that you put in this little hole and then it's like contraption style. Oh, I should, but I've already said too much.
Okay, I know this is a little morbid, but did you laugh at the comic staff?
Still do. Like a geyser, that guy. You messed up, punk. You messed up. Now you pay. And you paint the walls at the same time. Have I ever had a nightmare about a Shinigami? My nightmare is not having a Shinigami. I want like two. I don't want the books. I just want them to hang around. I'll bring lots of produce. Apples. Apple pie. Apple sauce. Apple jacks. Cider! Oh, when you got a belly full of apple cider, that would be a fun night out.
I was wondering if you recognize track down or something weird.
That's adorable. I've been recognized. No. Okay, not entirely true. There was one point, I can't remember, I think I was shopping for like a Gundam kit, or maybe it might have been a volume of a DVD of some sort, I can't remember. But I was in a local anime shop in Vancouver, in the mall, and I didn't have any cash on me. So I decided to pay with a credit card. And so I just put my things up there, and takes the card, and kind of... Really? Ooh, you've seen this particular title, have you? And you've actually watched the credits. And she's like, huh, cool. She goes, wouldn't you already have this? That's what I had to explain. It's not like we get copies of things. I have to find them just like you. But no, I've never had anybody call, like a telemarketer call and say, hey, weren't you that guy in Dublin?